Okay, so you're a real estate agent and you know you need to step up your social media game. Or if you're wondering, like, why the heck do I even need social media? I'm a cold caller. I do all this other stuff. Why the heck do I need social media? Well, coming from someone who does it and I hate it, well, in this video, I'm going to tell you why you need it. Or maybe you should just leave it alone and forget it all together. Let's go. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge. On this channel, I talk about being at and making the move to eXp Realty and also my journey in being a real estate agent these last few years and everything moving forward. If you are looking to make the move to eXp Realty, this number popping up below is how you can get a hold of me, or maybe you just want to have a conversation about whether it's the right fit for you or not. I love telling people no, greatest skill to ever acquire. So reach out, or you can schedule a Zoom call down below. Don't forget that. So getting straight into the video with all the energy and hopped up on caffeine I am right now is, why does a real estate agent need social media? So I will tell you straight up, I hate social media. I hate having it on my phone. I hate dealing with it because it's an easy rabbit hole that you can just get sucked down. And to be honest with you, for the last couple years being licensed up until recently, I'm like, why do I need this? Why am I going to waste my time doing this? Like, excuse me, geez, I just don't see a benefit in it. It's just like, why am I going to waste my time? And if you're watching this, like, I can feel that you're probably in the same boat. Why the heck would you need social media? Well, I'm here to make a case coming from someone who hates social media. I'm going to tell you about what I've learned and also some ways I found to kind of take myself away from it, but still get the results from it. So I will tell you straight up, I have gotten definitely some reach outs from social media. I use Facebook and Instagram primarily. I do put stuff on TikTok a little bit. For the most part, it's just it's like the personal brand. I don't really use it for my real estate team that I'm looking at building here in Orlando with a partner. It's all about my personal brand. And I'll tell you why I avoided it. And the reason I avoided it was because it's so consuming. It could literally be a full-time job. And I'll tell you, I also found a way to cheaply pay someone to take care of that. But it's a full-time job, and I'm like, I hate having to look up content. I hate having to do this. Like, why the heck am I going to get involved in this? Well, fast forwarding till now, I've realized, because I would go through, like most of us, I would go through periods where I would post every single day for, a month, and then I'd disappear. I'd post stories consistently every day, and then I'd disappear. And it's at the point now where, I wanted to do this video because I'm kind of like, I don't know, it's like coming through an enlightening, I swear, and I love taking advantage and sharing the knowledge that I do learn. And it's realizing that it is really important. So my YouTube channel in Orlando for generating leads is starting to gain some major traction. I also have a channel in San Diego that's starting to gain traction, getting, no leads from that one. Orlando's definitely taking the cake on that. I also have a blog website up for Orlando now. I have mailers that have been going out, obviously between cold calls, all this other stuff. And I can tell you that from the last 6 months of doing all that activity, my business and personal page on Facebook has been blowing up, which is weird. And then I start to think, I'm like, oh yeah, it's because my name's getting out there more. So when people see me, they're like anyone does before making a decision, is they research people. They like, who is this guy? Like, why would I, you know what I mean? Not everyone does. But I know there are people who are doing that. I'm getting more likes and more follows on my business page. I even have so I run a San Diego living and an Orlando living Facebook page where I also have people. I've had people actually ask to connect with the channel because they saw my YouTube and they're like, oh yeah, I'm moving to Orlando. Like, can I join your page? Here's my email address. Here's my name. And if I can or cannot, join. And it's crazy because I'm like, oh, and now it hit me. I'm like, this is why I need social media. This is why any agent needs social media. Even if, I do think that a lot of people are like, oh, I built my entire business, Facebook ads and all this stuff. Can you do it? Yes. Are people good at it? Yes. Shout out to Mike Sherrard as well. Look him up. Has a whole thing about it. Does very well with Facebook ads. But even he will tell you, being a new agent, it's kind of hard to throw all that money at Facebook ads. It's not like you can throw $5 and expect massive results. I also understand that doing YouTube alone is not like the best way to generate a massive amount of income. Like, you're just not. Like, it's great. And I know a lot of agents that do it. And I honestly, after getting leads from YouTube, I'm like, I'm sold. Like, it's like my main source. But social media, to all these prospecting activities you're doing, is just like icing on the cake. Like, you have your foundation, and social media doesn't necessarily have to be your main generating source for leads, but it definitely is important to get your personal brand out there. Who are you? What do you do? Why would people want to work with you? Because what happens is people work with you. Like, I don't care. Like, I charge 6% for listings. But what really comes down to is people want to know, like, and trust you. And social media just allows that to happen. Also, if you have clients and stuff, like, it allows you to stay connected with them so they can always see you. Running retargeting ads on Facebook, also important. Could very well happen, but you need to have social media presence to have that have a full effect. And I can also tell you that if you're like me and you hate doing it, guess what? There is a solution to hire someone to do that for you. Now, there's a lot of gurus out there, and I can tell you, coming from someone who just really doesn't care about it, but I know it's important, is everyone has a plan. Oh, the Instagram method, and even my upline EXP, they've interviewed some massive people on Instagram, and I'm like, okay, this is great, but I don't want to spend all the time doing this. Well, what can I do? Well, I realized, I already hired a virtual assistant who runs all my YouTube, my video editing, and all that stuff. And now I'm like, well, maybe I could just hire someone who does social media specifically. And when I started looking around, now I'm in the process that by the end of the summer, I'm going to be hiring someone to do all my social media. Because one thing I realized, it's not just about buying and selling homes. So get out of this line. I think as agents, it's really easy for us to get in this image that, I only get on social media and put all this crappy content like, ooh, do you like the color of this cabinet? Get the heck out of here. How are you helping people with that? Like, I think we all see it every single day. As agents also get active on social media and they're like, oh, look at this cabinet. Do you like white cabinets? Oh, look at this black trim. I saw that one today. And I'm like, get the heck out of here. Who are you helping with this? It doesn't help anyone. I guess it drives engagement, but like, I don't know. As a man, like, no one's gonna follow me because I'm putting out like, do you like white cabinets? Like, get the heck out of here. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that's the people who are like me are gonna be looking at that like, oh, get the heck out of here. What value you're providing? But there's one thing. So if you don't want to hire anyone, I think one of the simplest things that someone told me is like, so look, just follow this simple plan. You're gonna post 3 times a week. One of them is gonna be about family. One's going to be about business, real estate, whatever. And then the third is about community, like something you're doing in the community. Maybe there's a cool event going on in the community. Like, you're just posting about family, business, community, 3 days a week. That's it. If you're like me, raw video. Like, just pull up your phone, shoot a video talking about something. Like, don't think about content. Don't think about too much. It's like, this is what I'm going to talk about. Boom. Just talk on video. You'll get better over time. And do that 3 times a week. And on Facebook, super important, and Instagram is you're gonna obviously add more friends. On Facebook, try it. Like, right now, I want to max 5,000 friends. I just do, because that's 5,000 people that I can work out. And you want to message at least 5 to 15 people every single day on Facebook. Look on their page and be like, oh, you know what? And what's funny is like, I actually have started to see results. I even had a friend from Vegas. I'm not licensed in Vegas, but they're like, hey man, I'm totally going to ask you for a referral when it comes time to sell my house next year. I'm like, oh, okay, let's stay in touch. So it works, but you're reaching out, you're messaging at least 5 to 15 people a day on Facebook, Instagram, it's like the Gary Vee thing. Like, you're following people for them to follow you back, and you're engaging on their LinkedIn. Same thing. You're posting on there as well. Now I can tell you, this already sounds like a lot of work to me. And I'm like, I just want to be closing deals and helping my clients and staying active in my pipeline. Like, there's no way I can do extra content on top of this. Well, I am looking to actually hire a virtual assistant. I use Sphere Rocket, no plug. I will leave the description in the link below where you can schedule a call to find a VA for yourself. But that being said, I do get a little piece for that. So you don't have to go through you can go to their main site. I really don't give a crap. VAs are awesome. You don't have to use them. You can use anyone else. But $3 to $6 an hour, and I'm going to be hiring a full-time VA. Imagine everything I talked about is being done by a virtual assistant for that price who has experience, whether it's a degree or previous business experience or both, doing all of that for you every single day. And on top of that, they're monitoring referral groups. They're reaching out to all the people for you. They're making LinkedIn connections for you. They're also recommending content that you can do. They're creating content. You're walking around like, you know what? I love coffee. Let me just, there you go. Take a picture of coffee. That VA can make content out of that if there's nothing available. Like, I think most agents overthink it. And I hate when like all these like major players, like even if they make a lot of business from Instagram and stuff like that. They're like, oh yeah, you got to do all this stuff. Man, that sounds like a full-time job, 8 hours a week. I got kids. I have family. I don't have time to be doing social media 8 hours a week, but I know it's important, and I know it's one way I want to build my personal brand and my business. So if you have the funds, like, why would you do it yourself? Like, if you could get one extra deal a month, even six extra deals a year by having a VA you're paying like $640 roughly, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less per month, and you're getting 6 deals a year, that already is ROI positive. And let's be honest, like, it's all about connections. If you can meet 1 million people in your life or have 1 million people following you, you're going to be doing bigger things than you are now. So trust me, I was the agent who avoided social media. I still do I'm like, you know what? I'm like, why don't I hire a VA? Why don't I hire someone who knows what they're doing, can give me recommendations, and we can work together. I already have my brand kit. I already know what I love to talk about, who I want to reach out to, who I want to connect with. And that VA, that professional on my team, can help me build a social media plan to knock it out of the park. And now they can learn to talk like you. So now they're messaging your friends, staying connected. They can tell you, hey, on Wednesday, when you start your workday, I need you to give 5 personal videos for these friends that follow you. And you're like, all right, awesome. Hey, John, hey, I'm just letting you know that I'm so thankful that you supported my business by buying a house this year, yada, yada, yada. And they're sending that to them in the morning, and it looks like it came from you. So it's stuff that you should be doing, that you know you want to do, and now you have someone to leverage to do that. Personally, I think a lot of do this on Instagram, doing all these TikTok reels and all this stuff. Important, it works. But if you're like me, like, we don't have time for this. Like, if you know you're in real estate business and you're already swamped, like, isn't the goal to kind of I don't know if you're like me, I want to walk away from production at some point and just focus on overall stuff. But I don't want my whole life existence just to be buying and selling homes. I have greater aspirations at some point. I don't want to leave real estate. I want it to be a part of what I'm doing to propel me into doing something that I find meaningful. So I think social media, super important. If you aren't doing it, you should be doing it. Now, I told you some basic things, posting 3 days a week. One about family, one about business, one about community. You could also make sure you're messaging on Facebook 5 to 15 people every single day with something relevant to what's going on in their life. Instagram, you're following people and engaging in local content to generate more people to follow you. It works. I can tell you I've done it, but it's hard for me to be consistent. So I realized I'm not good at it. I need to hire someone. I had a conversation with another agent today about this topic. And I'm like, he was like looking to hire my video editor 1 day a week because I had some extra time. And I'm like, wait, you know what? I'm like, dude, you don't need a video editor. I see what you're doing. You need a social media manager to take care of that for you. I'm in the same boat. Like, as agents, we learn a new thing. We're like, oh, I gotta do this myself. I'm gonna learn about it I'm gonna half-ass it, and I'm gonna take this thing and I'm gonna add it to my chaos that I'm already trying to manage. Holy cow! Like, how do you think you can keep, like, all of a sudden you're gonna bring social media into the mix? Like, especially if you're cold calling or you're doing YouTube, you're door knocking, you're doing open houses. Like, do you think you have time, like, to do all this social media? No, you're gonna do it half as well. How about you hire someone who's twice as good, and in the long run, over time, in 12 months, could be doing 1,000 times better than you ever could by yourself. Now, do you have to? No. Personally, I think if you're watching this and you're a single agent, you're independent, hey, even if you're on a team, it doesn't matter. Like, I think you need to stop taking more on your plate and start trying to leverage some of these things in your life. In social media, it's important. And I can tell you, no matter what lead generation you're doing, even if you don't want social media to be your main lead generation, people are watching. They find you. You search your name, does it come up? Probably. So guess what? If you're putting trash out there, they're going to find you, even if you have the most professional YouTube channel and people are like, oh, what is this person? Oh, man, like, why are they sharing this? Oh, no, not going to happen. It's important. It's make sure that all your image, people can find you, everything has to be the same. And social media is the same with that. So if you don't have it, get it. Also, if you want to learn how you could leverage it, or if you are looking to make the move to eXp Realty, where I help agents do this, and my upline gives massive value doing the same thing, this number popping up below is how you can get a hold of me when looking to make the move to eXp Realty, or if you just want to have an honest opinion about doing this. Heck, I don't even care if it's just about using VAs to leverage your life. Reach out. We can have that conversation. I have it every single week, and I love it. So, hope this video gave you value about social media, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.